All right, so thank you so much for watching the other video. So you have made it to the 6th section. Great job. So this section I'm talking about connectors, and it's really important to have the right connections. Like you can have an okay transformer, okay fixtures, okay bulbs, wires pretty much the same. But if the connectors are terrible, your landscape lighting, it's not going to last very long. You know, it could go out in a matter of months or weeks, or just a few short years rather than lasting for 20 plus years. So you want to make sure that you connect your wires the right way. So the different type of connections, there's the connections that come from like Home Depot and Lowe's, and those you pinch the wire. So it's like these two metal spikes go through the wire and then you clamp it on. Those suck. Never use those. If you ever see them, just get rid of them entirely. They're just not made very well. They're not made to last. They're not waterproof. They just suck. You could move it slightly and those two prongs will move just slightly, and they're not touching the wire, the copper inside the wire. So it just doesn't make sense to use it. Don't ever use it. So a method that a lot of people, a lot of companies use is a waterproof big wire nut, and they twist on the wire nut and then they wrap it in electrical tape. This works and there's nothing wrong with it. I bag on it a lot because I have to repair a lot of those, but in the grand scheme of things, it probably lasts just as long as some of these other really good connectors. So that's a good option. It just takes a while to connect it that way, so I don't really like it. I use a lot of electrical tape. So that's that option. The other option that you could use, and the one that I use and I teach, is it's a King Innovation waterproof connector. So I either crimp it with a copper crimper. I crimp it with a copper tube, and so it makes sure the wire is connected, and then you put the wire, the exposed wire, into that gel, and that gel makes it waterproof. So this is something that we use. It'll last 15-20 years, so it's a really good option. It keeps it waterproof, it keeps it safe, and it's a lot faster than some of these other options. So the two best connectors out there that I don't know if it's worth it because they're really expensive and they take a long time to do. The first one, I don't really know how to say it, it's called a copper Bucknan method. So this method is really nice, but you have to crimp it, but you don't use just any crimping tool. You have to use its own specialty crimping tool, and the tool itself is really expensive, and then it crimps over it and crimps it in a perfectly crimped way all the way around, and then it fits perfectly into the connector, and then you have to squish it and seal it, and then it's like extremely waterproof. It takes a long time, and it's just, in my opinion, it's not worth it. So yeah, so that's one of the other methods. The other method is a shrink wrap. So you put like a rubber sleeve over it, and then you use a heat gun, and then it shrinks it so it's like completely waterproof, and it will be stuck there forever. And it takes a while because you have to connect it the right way, you have to run the sleeve over, and then you have to use like a little blowtorch, light it up, and then it shrinks. And then it doesn't really work for a lot of like multiple connections. So if you have to connect like 4 wires together, like 3 lights and a main wire, it doesn't work like that. It works mainly with just the main wire and then 1 light. So it's a little interesting. So those are other methods. I preach and teach using the King Innovations waterproof connection. So make sure you use that and do that right. But connectors are very important. Make sure that you're pushing the wire all the way into that gel, and that you're crimping it so that the wire doesn't pull apart. So make sure that you do it right. All right, so there you go. Now you know a little bit more about connectors and how it works. And with that being said, I'll see you in that section. Bye.